I'm Jody. Welcome to Gear Branch Library's Imagination Seeds. Today's seed is about stories about shoes. Our first story is Puss in Boots. You've probably heard the story of Puss in Boots before. It's about a cat called Puss who belonged to a miller's son that didn't know how useful having a cat could be. Puss actually was able to charm the king of the kingdom to believe that the miller's son was a grand count with lots of land, devoted servants, and really great clothes. Puss even was so clever that he was able to trick a giant into shapeshifting into a mouse. That didn't end well for the giant. How does your favorite animal spend their day and have fun? What do they do if they're around people or each other? You can learn more about your favorite animals and what they do every day with books from the library. There's lots of resources. You can look about whole families of animals, like bears, or a specific kind of animal, like a sun bear. You can also check out websites with your grown-ups that have animals. Your favorite zoo might have a critter cam where you can watch animals in their natural habitats as they eat and play and grow up. You can make up a fairy tale about an animal character. What do they like to do? How do they treat their friends? Our second story about shoes is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is actually an entire series of books by an author called L. Frank Baum. There are 14 novels about the magical adventures that children have visiting the land of Oz. People have made plays and movies using the places and characters in Mr. Baum's books. But wait, Jody, you said this was about shoes. Oh, it is. The first book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, is about a girl named Dorothy who gets swept up in a tornado in Kansas and lands in Oz, and she finds a pair of magical shoes. In the books, they're made out of pure, shiny silver. In the movies, they're glittery and bright and ruby. And the story is about how Dorothy goes through Oz looking to find her way back to Kansas, because Kansas and Oz aren't very close to each other. The Wizard of Oz isn't exactly what he seems to be, but he's still a very clever man, and he's able to help Dorothy and her friends find solutions to their problems. The Wizard of Oz and Dorothy become friends, and he offers to take her back to his home in Omaha, Nebraska, which is a lot closer to Kansas than Oz. Do they make it? What happens to Dorothy next? What adventures have you had with your family? Do you and your families go on trips together? Which was your favorite? Can you write a story about it? Where is somewhere that you and your family would love to go and visit? Can you find pictures or books about those places? Can you write a story about them? The library app Hoopla has videos about places that you can visit, either in person or in your imagination. And you can learn about real places and imaginary places that would be fun or maybe not so fun to have adventures in. Nursery rhymes are fun, silly, simple stories that often rhyme. And of course, there's a nursery rhyme about shoes. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. So she gave them all broth, and she gave them all bread, and she read them some stories and sent them to bed. Do you have magic shoes? Can you make up stories about shoes? Or stories about how you make shoes? Who makes shoes? What is a shoemaker called? These are things your grown-ups can help you research and learn about. You can also make your own shoes. You can look for paper templates to cut out and make shoes. You can use old tissue boxes as shoes and color and decorate them. You can make footprints and color them in with sidewalk chalk or paint. Do you have a grown-up that knows how to crochet or knit or felt? They can show you how to make your own slippers. Did you enjoy the stories about the shoes? Do you want more stories? Puss in Boots has lots of versions and beautiful picture books that you can read and enjoy. There's also a movie called Puss in Boots. Your grown-ups might recognize the actor Antonio Banderas that plays the voice of Puss. You can also read all 14 books of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, or watch the movie with Judy Garland, who's another actor that your grown-ups might be familiar with. If you like the nursery rhymes, you can look up poems and songs and stories about Mother Goose on Hoopla Music. Other fun stories about shoes include a tale about a boy named Hans Brinker. You can read that book too. And of course, a famous story about shoes we didn't talk about today is Cinderella. What happens with Cinderella? There are movies and stories and ballets and dances that all feature Cinderella that you can look up and have fun with. And of course, if you want more ebooks about these stories, the Tumble Book Library, available through the library website, is a great place to look and have fun. Thanks so much. We can't wait to hear your stories and adventures about shoes.